situation, it starts with almost like a balloon feeling inside my stomach that feels like someone is blowing up a balloon, and then it begins to open up in my chest. I start having severe pains in my neck, jaw, and my arms, and it usually ends with me in the shower for hours on end, vomiting. Like that's like the worst end of it. But typically that does not happen too often, but these are the physical signs that I know something's about to happen. And I probably, if I can, intervene. Maybe it's grab a green tea. I have a medical marijuana card. Maybe it's smoke a little marijuana and chillax. If it's on the far end, we're just going to have to ride it out. There's literally nothing I can do to, once I feel it in my gut and I start feeling that like someone's squeezing my jaw with their hands, I'm like, all right, well, this is how the next 4 to 6 hours are going to look. Yeah, but like that's few and far between. This year, I've had a few more episodes like that than I would like, but it's been a stressful year.
I mean, that's got to add anxiety on its own when you start feeling anxious and knowing that it could get to that stage. That's, a very vicious circle.
Yeah, and it's tough because it's one of those situations, like there's been times where I've had to ask my partner, like, can you please not go to fill in the blank this evening or today? Can you skip something? Because I'm going to be so crippling sick in a matter of an hour that I can't take care of my kid, like at all. Like I can't lift my head. Like I said, I'm usually in the shower the entire time. I'm sick. Like I can't do anything. And so that makes you feel more anxious too, because your anxieties and issues are now starting to spread out and they are actually affecting other people, because now I'm having to ask other people to step in and help me because I can't do my day-to-day, stuff.
And with the shower, I was interested, do you kind of just go in the shower and just sit in the shower literally? Or?
Shower. I sit in the shower with as hot as I can tolerate it, usually with my head against the wall and the shower down, like, coming against my neck and shoulders, if you will. And I sit until it's not hot any longer. I get out, I basically wait until the heat in the water is back again, and then I usually end up back in there. It just seems to be the only thing that levels out the pressure between like my head and my jaw, and then the feeling of like just shortness of breath and such, and the pressure in my chest. That's just been my only thing that I've ever been able to do. I can't really take anything. I just go to the shower and wait for it to go away eventually.
Well, have you ever been on medication for your anxiety? Or
I have. Years ago, I was on Bus-Bar and stuff like that, and it was tricky. Some things worked better than others. Some things were like really great temporary fixes for like a small period of time. But for me, I've preferred and have seen more success through my medical marijuana and going that route. And like I said, just find really like I'm focusing on getting to know myself so I can manage. Like I said, over the last couple of years, finding the things that are bothersome to me, like not having a routine, not taking care of myself physically. I've always been kind of, like lazy and whatever, I was in my 20s, so I didn't have to try. And now it's funny, I go to the gym and, staying in shape is nice, but it's how it makes me feel on the inside, mentally and emotionally is truly why I'm there. So these things have helped me over the years more so than when I was actually at that time taking stuff. But again, that was, through trial and error. Some things worked better than others. I totally think everyone should explore all methods of treatment, because for some, medication is absolutely essential and a total game changer for their lifestyle.
Yeah. Do you think, as I said before, there's a link between how you're keeping yourself physically and how you're keeping yourself healthy and how many anxiety episodes you have? There's a big link there. So if you're not in the gym, if you're not working out, if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not eating well, do you tend to have more problems with your anxiety, or is it?
It's hard to say, because maybe what I do is maybe by doing all the things and staying in my routine, I maybe focus a lot of my attention on other things that sometimes I stay too busy for my anxiety to creep up on me. Perhaps maybe in the past I had more time to myself, and more time to spread out where I had more room for some of my anxiety. So I think that yeah, perhaps, like, for instance, maybe during COVID and when we were all at home, I would definitely say a lot of my spikes and anxiety, more so than being trapped at home, were, like you said, the fact that a lot of my day-to-day routines and the things that I did for self-care, including the gym, whatever the case was just out the window, gone until further notice. And that definitely was the first time in a long time I've had to actually face my anxiety from that, because I've always had those tools available to me. I can always go to the gym. I can always go do whatever. So when it was like, actually, it's 2020 and no, you cannot, I was like, well then, okay, let's reevaluate this anxiety.
And I guess it's about distraction in a part of it, as you say, is that, you know, in terms of being so busy for you, it's about distraction then, because you've got your, you know, it sounds so clearly, your routine, and you know you've got all of that, so you're focusing on the next task, and then get to the end of the day, and your day ends quite early by the sounds of things, you know, in terms of, like, you know, going to bed early, etc.
Yeah.
But
I think that and that's what's funny, is that for other people, though, the thing about self-care and managing anxiety that I've realized from my friends and such is that there's just no right or real wrong way. For other people, my routine would just be mentally crushing. They would be like, why are you doing this? But for me, it's like, it's how I do it. And I think the most important thing that I did for myself was, like I said, figuring out what I can do that made me feel better. For some people, it's like, hey, I need an hour-long nap every day, and I might go for a walk, and I need to paint. And, you know, that's great for them. I'm not that. But I believe that there's definitely coping mechanisms for anxiety that we all have, like, in our little tool belt, that we just don't know. We just got to explore it and find them for us, and then try to apply them to our day-to-day life. And these are just the ones for me that when I'm able to stay focused on my schedule, when I'm able to go to the gym and maintain my health, when I'm able to stay busy and routine, I am a happier, calmer Brandon.
Nice. It's good to know yourself like that. I mean, you know, there are so many people out there that can't,
you know, what works.
They don't know what works, and it's great to know what works for you, and be able to implement it, because that's a big part of it as well. You know, not being able to, so during lockdown, not being able to implement these things, but actually being able to. I mean, at least even in lockdown, you can have a routine. It's just a different one.
That's what I did. I found a new routine during lockdown. And exactly, it's about finding the right state of mind. So first couple of weeks, it was a little brutal, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let this pull me down. I'm just going to change it up and roll with the punches. And here we are.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for chatting with us. You're always amazing and open and honest, and it's really wonderful to talk with you.
I love you. Have a good one.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. See you soon, darling. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So thank you.